The other thing I think I have to comment on is this bill in Washington, D.C., the $1.9 trillion bill. And I think a lot's been put out about how so much of that has nothing to do with COVID. I think in some respects it's kind of Washington at its worst yet again by using this thing as a Christmas tree. But I want to focus on one part of it, and that is the money that they're sending to state and local governments. Now, typically when you do something like that, you look at percentage of the population, you divvy it up, and then you send it. So Florida, 6.5% of the population, we would get 6.5% of what you're going to do. And look, you want to send it, don't send it, that's fine. But if you're going to send it, it should be fair. And we shouldn't be penalizing states for doing a good job. But that is exactly what this bill does. Instead of using the share of the population, they are using the number of unemployed in a state, which means states like Florida that have lower unemployment are getting penalized. States like New York and California, who have higher unemployment, are benefiting. They're getting a windfall of $2, $3, $4 billion. That is completely unfair. How someone in Florida would vote to penalize the state of Florida and send that money to New York and New Jersey and Illinois and California, I have no idea why you would want to do that. But as it stands right now, we would get the state of Florida $1.2 billion less than we would if they just did a straight share of the population, whereas states like New York, New Jersey, Illinois and California and Pennsylvania would get more than their share of the population. And it probably, if they keep this formula, it will probably be even worse for Florida, because we firmly expect that our 6.1% unemployment rate from December is going to be revised further down. And so that will hurt us in terms of getting relief from this bill. And again, if you don't want to send anything to states, we've made decisions. We'll be able to do what we need to do. We'll figure it out. But to penalize the states that have done better makes no sense. And so you have the New Yorks, the New Jerseys, the Pennsylvanias, Illinois, all of them higher per capita COVID mortality than the state of Florida, even though our population is much older than all those states. And yet they also have much higher unemployment. So we're putting people to work. People are investing in Florida, one of the few places in the country where people are actually starting new ventures in. And obviously there's been an incredible migration. There's been a lot of home sales, a lot of new home starts here in the state of Florida. I saw something on the news this morning of the 10 cities that are the top destinations for people to retire. 7 out of the 10 are in the state of Florida. If you look at where all the most new starts are, places like the Villages, far and away #1, but other communities as well. So I hope that the Senate, U.S. Senate, will look at that and see how fundamentally unfair that is to penalize a state like Florida for having better outcomes. You should do it based on population and let the chips fall where they may. Don't reward the states that had less success in saving their economies and putting people back to work.